Hi guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by OneRepublic, and that's No Vacancy. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now, OneRepublic, Imagine Dragons, Fall Out Boy and X-Ambassadors all released a track on the same day. It just so happened to be the only day that I was away at a wedding and away from my computer. Perhaps the biggest pop quadruple whammy of the year exploded back onto the scene towards the tail end of April, and it just had to be my luck that I had to sit away from this glorious computer that plagues my life and actually do regular life things. Yeah, what a time to be alive. So should we see what I thought of this brand new track anyway? Well, all I can say in response to this track is yikes, it's really bad, and I'm almost out of words on what to really say about it. It's just a mashup of Cheap Thrills by Sia and Shape of You by Ed Sheeran, meaning it's more of this copycat, whitewashed, electronic, dancehall rubbish that is almost offensively lazy. Everything from the fake Caribbean accent to the constantly looping stabs and four-chord progressions just made me feel as if I was listening to pure, untampered with dog muck. The vocals are horrifically mixed. The track has as much natural influence to it as, say, like a Concrete Slab does, and it is just the most generic pop song I have heard in probably a month at this point. It's one of those tracks that are so average and so phoned in and so generic that they genuinely stick out from the crowd simply due to the sheer amount of generic tropes that have been pushed into one runtime. Production-wise, this track is an absolute atrocity in my opinion. Everything has been so drained of life and energy that it sounded as if someone had recorded some metal tubes colliding with one another at just different pitches. The programmed instrumentation had bland timbres to it and tones that didn't mold together at all, hence creating this really unfocused and confused texture that sounded like their musical equivalent of being blotchy and itchy. The vocals are way too auto-tuned in my opinion as well, to the extent that they sounded like this watery robotic falsetto wailing away in the background of this mix. The percussion sounded really weak and redundant, and it's by far the worst mix I've heard this last month or so. I'm not talking about this month because we're only 2 days in, and that would be an unneeded exaggeration. I can't really find a single redeemable factor here. When it comes to the musicality of this track, you have a main synth instrument that sounded like a radiator had been turned into a xylophone, and that just plays 4 notes over and over again. The bass is so dull and so unimaginative that it took me multiple listens to even find the right words for me to make this sentence. I just couldn't concentrate on it at all. It was so dull that my mind just kept leaping onto other things. The vocals are just wailed and are disjunct melodically, as well as just sounding plain irritating for the most part due to this piercingly high pitch he continues to sing in. The chorus is the only place where we get any variation, and guess what? The only variation is in the dynamics, so it's not like it's progression or variation. Since it's a little quieter than the verses using the same progressions, just doesn't have that radiator xylophone in anymore. Other than that, we just get the same thing repeated over and over again. I'm honestly struggling to find anything I can say I even liked in this track or is even stylistic of the guys over at OneRepublic and what they would usually produce, but after boggling my mind over a fair amount of time, I can safely say that I can't find anything redeeming here. Lyrically, the track is cheesy, it's phoned in, the whole no vacancy metaphor / literal usage is laughably bad, and heck, the only upside to this track is that I've actually heard worse lyrics than this already this week, so its main accomplishment for me is that it's not the worst out of all these tracks in every single aspect. So all in all, I may have sounded a little harsh in this review, and maybe a little rant-worthy as well, but I honestly can't recommend this track to anyone, not even fans of the group. There are better tracks by OneRepublic out there, as you all have probably heard them by now. They're colossal. It was a waste of my time, so I gave it a G rating of 2 out of 10. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.